Oh my gosh, the microphone works if I plug it in. I can even hear myself. Alright. So, good morning, chatters. Well, not that anyone's here yet. Viewers here and to be later when I've posted this to the internet. I'm already here on the internet. It is currently 10:56 for me. And why can I still hear myself? Where am I hearing myself from? Oh, because I do have my Twitch up. Okay, that's what's going on. Bloop. Goodbye. Anyway, so I have some news stories for you today. This is the second one. Let me get out of this. This is the first one. The first story on today's news. Does it say the actual date? Well, there was like a bar at the top that I removed because it was like in the way, even if you scrolled down. And as you can see, I'm already scrolled in so that you all may read along with me. In case you wish to expend the effort of reading when I'm here to dutifully read each word for you. Anyway, let's see. Oh, where did I put... Do I want the space music in the background? I kind of do. Where did I put that? Add source. That one. This one. Yeah. That doesn't... Come on. Come on. Don't do this to me. Edit, transform, flip. Come on, no order. Yeah, move down. Move to bottom. Banished. As he should be, except he's kind of still at the bottom. Did I not? I need to reshape this just a bit. Get bigger. Hey. That. Now we move it like, boom. Hold on. This is gonna fit the screen perfectly when I'm done. Boom. Well. Hell yeah. Now I need to be... No. Just, come on. Now I need to be... Yeah, there we go. In a way that I make sense and don't look like I'm hovering off the ground. Or like I don't have a waist. Anyway. This good? This looks good. Alright. So. You get to move over there. We have this February. We will see a 6-planet alignment. We're starting with this story. And here on Sky at Night magazine, which I believe is a website that is like big in that is like popular in the UK. Or based there. So hold on. I feel like there's more I should introduce about the story, but I did get rid of a... Hold on. Let me duplicate this real quick. Duplicate that. Is there more information about this story? No? Not really? Okay. I don't know. I just wish that there was like a date when it was posted, who it was posted by. Is that at the bottom? Well, we'll get there. Or we won't. We'll see. Much like how we'll see planets. I like planets. I happen to live on one of them. Wait, hold on. Let me mute this and start playing that. That way I can see myself. Just like I was born the narcissist I was supposed to be. 6-planet alignment, February 2026. How to see it. Another planet parade is coming up. How excited should we be? Oh, by Jane. This is literally the information I was looking up for. What's wrong with me? By Jane Todd. Published February 12th. So that was 3 days ago. Let's see. Can I... Okay. Cast your mind back to February 2025, and you'll likely remember the 7-planet parade. Oh, wait. You know what? Let me see if I can. Oh, no. This is... If I minimize OBS, I minimize the chat stream. Chat stream? The chat that I see on screen. There we go. Anyway. Alright. That works perfectly. Right. Cast your mind back to February 2025, and you'll likely remember the 7-planet parade that was visible in the evening sky. Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune were all there for a brief moment after sunset, making for a chance to see 7 planets in the solar system in the night sky all at once. Excitement is now growing around a similar planet alignment set to be visible on 28 February 2026. That is in 13 days. I shouldn't have rolled my R on that one. However, this time it's a 6-planet alignment. So last time it was a 7-planet. This time Mars isn't making it to the line. Mars is not visible this month. Get weekly stargazing advice. Okay, so that's where Mars is. Oh, wait. What do I look like right now? Okay. So, that's where Mars is. That's Orion. You can see his belt. I didn't know Jupiter was, like... I'm gonna know to look for Jupiter now when I'm looking at Orion, because sometimes I can see Orion. Not all the time. But sometimes I can see Orion. Oh, and Venus is, right there. Is this, the night of the 7-planet alignment? Okay, so this isn't where they always are. Oh, I see what they mean. Wild. Okay. They really were doing that thing that they have to do in order for Hades to kill Hercules. We don't love to see it, but we do see it. From time to time. Now. But how visible will the planets be? And what can we really expect? Here, we'll take a look at each of the planets in turn, revealing when they're visible, and what the 6-planet parade will really look like. Firstly, though, a word on safety. Wait, how loud am I in response to my music? Let me check for myself. Oh, that works. That works perfectly. Anyway. Here, we'll take a look at each of the planets in turn, revealing when they're visible and what the 6-planet parade will really look like. Firstly, though, a word on safety. Observing this planet parade will mean observing some planets low in the west just after sunset, like here in the picture, where you can see it's just after sunset. And space. Anyway, make sure you do only observe these planets once the sun is set, as looking at the sun directly could seriously damage your eyesight. I've tried it. Fun fact, I wear glasses. I don't know if it's because I looked at the sun, but it might be. It might be. It probably is. Actually, it probably isn't. Both my parents need glasses. So what is this? What am I looking at here? Let me put on the old headphones. Let me put on the old beaten up headphones. Literally old. What are we looking at here? Hello. Are they making... Can everyone... Wait. Oh, you can't hear that. Let me turn this down by a lot. Yeah, turn it down there. Then let's restart this just a tad. This is 24 minutes long. Processing. Do I watch a 20-minute video? I mean, I want to learn about space. I want chat to learn about space. Okay, we'll do that. Okay.
Hello everybody,
How
and
loud
welcome
is that?
to the February edition of the Virtual Planetarium with my friend and colleague Pete Lawrence and me, Paul Abel. And as ever, we will start with the inner solar system and make our way out towards the stars and Mercury. So Mercury's a tricky planet to observe most of the time. It's never far from the sun and usually quite low down. However, there is an evening appearance at this time of year where, because of the angle made by the ecliptic and the western horizon is rather steep,
Yeah.
when Mercury
Okay.
is
So
visible at sunset at this time, it's actually quite
it's looking like it's not visible because it's too low in the sky.
good.
Yeah.
So this is going to be a reasonable one, isn't it?
It's not too bad. I mean, Mercury will reach
That
greatest eastern
freaked me out because I
elongation.
said
That's
what
when
I
it's in
said and then I
the
played it and
evening
it
sky,
sounded like someone agreed
on
with
the
me.
19th of February, when it will
No
be
one should be agreeing with me when I'm
18.1 degrees
alone.
away from the sun, and that's when it's at its furthest position from the sun, basically in the sky, in that particular time. So we stand a good chance of seeing Mercury, and as you've mentioned, the steepness of the ecliptic with the western horizon at sunset is the real key, because that means that anything which is close to the ecliptic, i.e. a planet or the moon, will take that little bit longer to set. It's got a really steep angle. It's at its highest as the sun has gone down. And
Riveting. I'm sorry. I love this. I love reading more than listening to people though, because this is a blank image. So what and I bet that a lot of this might cover what's in the article. So yeah, okay. Not gonna watch the whole video. But let's click through and see like where they're pointing at things. Venus is right there. Wait, how does this look like on the stream? Hi, in your head. I'm still Halleustice. Okay, so Venus is gonna be near the horizon. Mars. Oh, that's Mercury. I'm stupid. Venus is gonna be near the horizon. Mercury is gonna be near the horizon. Oh, the moon. The moon's part of the alignment? Or maybe they're just pointing it out. What? I feel like this image is supposed to help me. What are they talking about during this part?
We're always joking around the fact that because it's getting up to about 60 degrees altitude when it's due south, we say that's overhead, basically, which it isn't. It's 30 degrees off overhead, of course, 90 degrees.
Of course! It's easy to make that mistake. Not quite overhead. It's 30 degrees off. Right. Anyway, so Mercury, it feels like it's I'm guessing it's gonna like go through all the like different like what the planets are up to here. So with Mercury, it feels like it's been a long time since we had good views of Mercury in the night sky. That's because the closest planet to the sun is an inferior planet. Jeez. Which means it sits between Earth and the sun, and is therefore closer to the sun in the evening sky than the outer planets. I wonder if they just call it inferior because they are closer to death. Or they might mean from a practical can life survive here standpoint. In February 2026, Mercury is technically an evening planet, but it sets in the west, so close to the sunset that it's not really visible at the start of the month. By 19th of February, Mercury reaches its furthest position from the sun, known as greatest eastern elongation. Greatest eastern elongation. That makes sense. So they mean like elongation does mean probably like the elongating of its distance from the sun. So this is the greatest eastern of that. That means by February 28th, Mercury is... Oh, they're saying it this way because they're British. Mercury is setting much longer after sunset than it did at the start of the month, but it will have dimmed considerably, making it tricky to see. Venus, like Mercury, is also an inferior planet. A lesser planet. And like Mercury, its appearance in our evening sky will improve throughout February, setting on the west much later after sunset each night. Venus has two advantages over Mercury. In February 2026... Oh, specifically this month, it has two advantages over Mercury. It won't be as dim as Mercury, and it will be at a higher altitude, setting later after the sun. That will make Venus easier to see than Mercury during the 28th of February 2026 planet parade. But by February 28th, Venus and Mercury are close together in the sky, making Venus a good jumping off point for locating its dimmer neighbor. This is a picture of Saturn, Venus, and Mercury. Will appear low on the western horizon immediately after sunset on 28th of February during the 6-planet parade. Neat. Jupiter! We skip Mars and move straight to Jupiter, as the red planet isn't included in the February 2026 planet parade. Although Jupiter is past its peak, which it reached in January, and is technically better viewed at the start of February, it's still the best planet to see in the night sky and the easiest to see in the planet parade. By sunset on 28th of February, it's high in the eastern sky, higher than the moon, and close to the bright stars Castor and Pollux in Gemini. I want to see which stars those are, so let's look up Castor and Pollux. Go to image search. This is, yeah, okay. Give me that. Boom. Oh, those are right. So let's look up stars, obviously. Oh, it's in the Gemini. That's what it means. In Gemini, right? That makes sense. I forget that all of them have constellations. So that's what Castor like looks like. This is a picture that was taken of them. Oh, are they like the main stars of Gemini? Are they the twins? Maybe. Wait. Okay. Wait. Let's ask Google. Are Castor and Pollux the twins of Gemini? Yeah, I mean, like, and is associated with the twins Castor and Pollux intrigue. You got it. That's so cool. That's so neat. That makes sense. I mean, it does just flatly make sense. If you only see one planet on February 28th, it's probably going to be Jupiter. Actually, you technically see Earth every day. Saturn, like Jupiter, Saturn has been quite good to observers recently. But that's changing as we approach the end of February. The best time to see the ringed planet is at the start of February, because by the end of February, it's setting in the west close to sunset. In fact, it's only just above Venus, and Mercury in the evening twilight, so you'll need a relatively clear horizon to see it. But that does mean that the western horizon will play host to a nice cluster of naked eye planets: Saturn, Venus, Mercury, making up half of the 6-planet parade. There's Pleiades. There's Uranus. Neat. Jupiter and Uranus will be much easier to see during... Yep. Although Uranus will likely require binoculars or a telescope. Uranus is an ice giant of the outer solar system and is high in the sky in February 2026, much like Jupiter is. Although tricky to see with the naked eye, even at the best of times, it does have high altitude in its favor, making it another potentially easy member of the 6-planet parade to spot. In February, Uranus is located beneath the Pleiades star cluster in Taurus. Neat. It's best seen at the start of the month, but after Jupiter is probably the second easiest planet to see in the sky in February. Why do they have to keep saying during the planet parade in February 2026? You know, when you're writing, it does get a little tricky, like knowing how to refer to the same event in just little different ways to try to keep it fresh, or the same person, or the same anything. Even though you'll likely need binoculars or a telescope to spot it, and that is for, that is for Uranus. Neptune! We get to see Neptune. It's making an appearance. The most distant planet in the solar system has been near Saturn in the night sky for some time now, And now that Saturn and Neptune are setting close to sunset, that makes Neptune perhaps the trickiest of the 6 parade planets to see at the end of February. There's a nice meeting between Neptune, Saturn, and the crescent moon on the 19th. By the 28th of February, Neptune will be low on the western horizon by sunset, close to Saturn. And because you'll need a telescope to see it, that means extreme caution must be taken. Be so careful not to look at the sun. Is it like so important? Like, okay, that's the stupidest question to ask on stream. Should I not look at the sun? How bad is it? I want to know how bad it is to look at the sun. Really small detour. This is the education part of the stream. Thanks, AI. Why does... Sure, why does it? Explain like in 5? Explain like I'm 5, that's what Reddit this is from. Why does the sun, staring at the sun, damage our eyes, but looking near the sun not damage our eyes? I mean, that would make sense, because it's like a direct beam into your eye follicles. That's not how that word works. Seems like the sun rays would be. Okay. Staring at the sun damages your eye because your eye lens is projecting a tiny image of your field of view onto your retina. In the same way that focusing the sun with a magnifying glass will ignite a piece of paper, or an ant if you're sadistic. Jesus. Focusing the sun onto your retina will cause it to absorb a lot more energy than it can take. Oh, looking near the sun isn't necessarily any safer if the sun is still in your field of view. Your lens is still focusing its light into some part of your retina. There's a reason people regularly wear sunglasses even when they're not planning to stare at the sky all day. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. So your eyes act like a magnifying glass to blind you. So because you're never seeing it, that means extreme top. Oh yeah, no, if you're looking at a telescope near the sun, that's the sun, friendly reminder, is a deadly laser. Catching a glimpse of the setting sun through an unfiltered telescope could seriously damage your eyesight. So this is something that should only be attempted by a seasoned astronomer who knows what they're doing. I wonder how you, like, aim a telescope specifically so that, like, you don't have to look through it, but know exactly how to not accidentally look at the sun and, you know, need glasses for the rest of your life. The sun will need to be fully set below the horizon before such a feat should be attempted. Oh, that's what they mean. God, you know, if only I stopped to read sometimes. Oh my gosh. It's funny how much right now this picture makes, like, the sky look like a planet. View of the planet parade captured from Sparta, North Carolina, USA. Oh, not the Sparta, fine. 25th of January, of course, because, okay. Photo by Peters A. Yeah, okay. And I don't need to read every single text. I'm on autopilot. The February 2026 planet parade at a glance. So what does this all mean? So what does all this mean in terms of the 6th planet parade of the 28th of February, this year of someone, 2026? As we've seen, all the planets are visible from mid-February onwards, so you don't need to wait until the end of February to try and see them in one go. The planet parade could be visible 2 weeks before that date of the February 28th. It's just that Venus and Mercury will be yawning. Pardon? It's just that Venus and Mercury will be best seen towards the end of the month. To add a bit of realism into the hype that's building around this planet parade, in reality, this is not an easy alignment of planets to see. 4 of the planets set in the west just after the sun, and one of those, Neptune, is only visible through a telescope. There's a yeah, see, so they're not like all bunched together. Yeah, that's me. I'm seasoned in garlic sauce. As in, I'm seasoned in the use of thereof. And also covered in it. There's a tendency for the hype around planet parades to suggest that 6 or 7 planets are going to be positioned in a neat line across the sky, each one high above the horizon and visible with the naked eye. That's never going to be the case. But if you want to try and see the February 2026 Planet Parade for yourself, there are a few things you can do. One important thing is to find a clear western horizon. Most of the planets will be clustered around the western horizon at sunset, which means you'll need all the help you can get to spot them. You won't have much time to see Mercury and Venus before they, too, set below the horizon. Ooh. Look at that. There's Regulus. The regular in the sky. And there they are, all bunched together up with the moon that is glowing a lot in this picture. Actually, you know what? The moon is actually pretty bright. And, as previously mentioned, that means extreme care must be taken, so you don't accidentally catch a glimpse of the setting sun with your naked eye, or much worse, through binoculars or a telescope. That being said, wait. Oh, wait, there's a, mental image that comes to my head. I'll just look up Raiders of the Lost Ark to show people what happens if they stare at the sun through a telescope. Or, wait. It's a face melting off skull. Hey, dungeon and... it's all protected. Can I even show it? It's just special effects. Wait. I mean, like, don't turn off. Let's just view it. Oh, see, that's what happens. Okay, I probably can't show that. I don't know. But that's what happens if you stare at the... I wish I'd gotten the video, but looking at that image, I realize it might be too graphic. So, yeah, don't do that. That being said, a flat, clear western horizon could give you every chance of seeing Mercury, Venus, and Saturn in the evening twilight just after sunset. Neptune would require a telescope, and this does come with the added danger of observing the western horizon in the evening twilight. At the same time, Uranus will be much higher in the western sky, while Jupiter will be high in the southeast, completing the 6-planet parade. Why planet parades happen? Gravity. Well, ecliptic? Wait. Yeah, no, why do they happen? Every once in a while, planet parades and planet alignments seem to crop up, as news of multiple planets appearing in the sky in a line at once makes headlines. Why do planet parades happen? Why do the planets feel the need to organize such events? What are they protesting? It's probably ice. They're not as usual as you might think. When we look into the night sky and observe planets among the stars, we're really looking out across the plane of our solar system. After our sun formed, the leftover star-forming ingredients like gas and dust formed a rotating disk surrounding it. Out of this flat disk, the planets... Oh my gosh. Hello. Not mine. Planet Parade. And Pride Parade. You know, they're all the different colors. Out of this flat disk. Right, I need to not do that. There we go. Out of this flat disk, and the planets and their moons eventually formed. Wait. You know, I don't think I knew that before. After some formed, the leftover star-forming ingredients like gas and dust. Okay, so I always thought or assumed that, like, this is probably dumb, but like that most of the planets like were just like rocks that like eventually like started orbiting the sun and then collected like more rocks. And it's like, I know that at some point Earth was its own like just one rock, right? And then like maybe the moon was a meteor that hit it and like joined it, or maybe wait, yeah, no, I think that's the story I've heard most recently. Well, a meteor is another planetoid, anything is a planetoid. It's all valid. You don't have to be a certain size. I decided.
Yeah, size matters.
Oh no! I'm in bad luck then. I'm only 5'5". I'll never be a planetoid. The moon. True. Very true. After Earth unformed, lived over like gas. Yeah. Okay, so we were all formed from the sun. Or not all of us. Or actually, yeah, all of us. Yeah, the planets and the moon. Yeah, out of the disk, the planets and the moons eventually formed, which is why the planets of the solar system all essentially orbit the sun on the same plane. That makes sense. They toyed. True. We can see this in the night sky. Sun on the right, same plane. This makes so much more sense. Okay. Well, does it make more sense? Okay, so if they'd been like planetoids that had just like drifted into like orbit around it, I could see like why they would like go at like different planes. But I also think the sun rotates and that's like part of the gravity thing. So wouldn't they eventually maybe even out? I don't know. That's I hope we visit space as a topic often enough that I actually learn. Oh, the melty face that I was showing earlier was in case you like look at the sun through a telescope. Lamau? Oh yeah. Okay, I'll let that comment through. I didn't know that it didn't let that through. That's very important. It's a very important addition to the topic. Wait, no. I phrased that sentence wrong. Now I sound like an ass. Very important thing to focus on when we're talking about Uranus is the that confusion. People get very confused about it. It's actually your mom's. No. Now we can see in the night sky. Wait, that's where it was. We all formed from the sun. We can see in the night sky in the shape of an imaginary line called the ecliptic, which is the path of the sun appears to travel across Earth's sky over the course of a year. Yeah. Whenever a solar system planet is visible from Earth, it will be located near the ecliptic because we're all going on the same track. Oh, that's Eldritch. Sorry, trying to imagine that is Eldritch. Ugh. That's so real. For gender, for me, it's like gender is an illusion. It's hard to, it's hard, it's so difficult to like not think of it that way that I don't even bother anymore. My common languages are Elvish, Gremlin, and Demon. Definitely all of those. Where was I? Gosh, I love talking to chat too much. What is ADHD? We can see this in the night sky. Yeah, the ecliptic is the line that the sun travels on, and so planets will usually appear on that because we're on like the same track as all the other planets. Sorry, this is hard to fathom, but I have a picture in my head. Damn, I've always meant to learn Klingon. Sort of. Very harsh language. Whenever a solar system planet is visible from Earth, it will be located, yeah. That's why when multiple planets are visible in the sky at once, they can all be found along the same path. Right, it's just that this path isn't straight, it's curved. Okay, that makes sense. That's why, okay. I'm learning a lot today. But that's why multiple planets visible in the sky at once will all share the same patch of sky, relatively speaking. Because when we look at the ecliptic in the sky, we're really looking out across the plane of the solar system. Thanks, Lane Todd, for the article on the Planet of the Parades. Now, moving on, today's news segment is a little. Of course, Tort. Of course, anything you say, Tort. Oh, of course, always. The 6-planet alignment. February. I can't do it. I tried. An attempt was made. Wait, hold on. The 6-planet alignment. I'm Morgan Freeman. I'm not. I'm lying to chat right now. I'm lying to everyone. I'm lying to the internet. It's never been done before. No. Okay. I can't do it apparently. Morgan Freeman is locked away from me. Let's so that was the space segment. Now we are going to a story about a family of 6 rescued by local surfers and fire department when boat capsized in Santa Cruz. Yeah, okay, that disappears. Awesome. This was published on February 12th, just like the other one I read. Neat. Oh, I like that it includes this at the start. All 6 family members, including 4 children, survived the boat capsizing. Hell yeah. We love that. I'd like to take a minute. Just sit right there. I'll tell you how these 4 people survived a boat capsizing. Need to know. Need to know. Family 6 was rescued when their boat capsized in Santa Cruz. The boat capsized near the population surfing spot Steamers Lane, and local surfers rescued the family, who only sustained minor injuries. Daryl Roscoe, Ian Anderson, and another young surfer identified as Emilio assisted in the rescue mission. Hey, you know, always important to expand your horizons as the planets line up along it. A family of 6, including 4 children, was rescued in a joint effort between local surfers and the Santa Cruz Fire Department in Santa Cruz on February 7th. The small fishing boat, which carried 2 parents and 4 children, capsized in the Pacific Ocean near the Surfing Museum. Located in a lighthouse. I hope the surfing museum has like a statue of just like a generic surfer. Just like a dude. No one in particular. Right. Surfing museum. Located in a lighthouse on West Cliff Drive. Local outlet KSBW reports the boat began to sink near Steamers Lane, a popular surfing spot per the outlet. Daryl Roscoe, a former Mavericks Big Wave Surf Contest champion, happened to be in the area at the time of the incident and teamed up with other local surfers to get the family to help get the family to safety. Cron4 reported. Enjoy work, Tort. Hooray. Sons. I assume you meant something with that. I'm sorry. I'm not actually sorry. I'm just trying to piece this together. I want to see the attempt. I want to see what was attempted here. I'm too obsessed with making jokes work. Okay. Right. What were we talking about? Yeah. Okay. So Daryl Verosco managed to. Yeah. So he's a surfing champion. It makes sense that someone like probably that swam a heck of a lot. I wonder if swimming was actually like, you know, part of it though. Crazy, unbelievable. These small children made it out of this boat wreck, Roscoe told the outlet. Alongside Roscoe were 14-year-old Ian Anderson and another young surfer named Emilio. Okay. Wait.
This is what surfers at Steamers Lane saw Saturday, a boat barreling down the coast when it was caught in a large wave and capsized. Surfer Daryl Verosco, more commonly known as Flea, said it was the strangest thing.
I knew right away the wave was going to get him, you know, and when it hit him, we all just kind of kicked in the action and just like, we got to find these guys, you know.
Inside that boat, 4 kids and their parents. The kids were wearing life vests. Their parents weren't. All of them tossed around in the wave.
It was chaos, you know, because people were popping up all over the, you know, the kids had life jackets, so they were popping up, and then, you know, and then the parents were further inside, and the boat was capsized, fishing line everywhere, fishing bait, just full yard sale.
Flea and other surfers quickly jumped into action. Among them, 14-year-old Ian Anderson, who plucked a small boy from the water and put him on his surfboard.
I looked over and I saw a boat in the water, and then I just like look in a different direction. I see this kid floating in the water just yelling for help. So I was just like wondering kind of what was happening, like just a little bit, like just freaking out a little bit.
First responders say what happened out there on the water could easily have turned tragic had it not been for the quick response
That'd be so terrifying. I mean, like, thank goodness they were around.
of surfers.
Surfing community is like a pretty nice community. Like they always like when someone's in trouble, like we always like come together to help that person.
It was just tremendous that they were there and that they jumped into action.
On Wednesday, the Santa Cruz Fire Chief met with some of those surfers to recognize them and thank them for their courage and awareness.
It's not common or every day that people want to get involved, and so it's just huge that we have people out in the community that are willing to take that step and become involved in an emergency situation.
Yeah. That makes sense. The ocean is a terrifying thing. The sun is a deadly laser, but the ocean, maybe even deadlier. And it makes sense that everyone needs to like come together to occasionally help against it. It's even putting myself in the situation of like one of the savers, because of course I'm going to do that. Like, of course that's what my brain immediately does. But no, like it's a scary situation from that point too. Like like realizing that, oh, I'm the one who has to do something about this. That otherwise bad things happen. Oof. I looked over, saw a boat in the water. Yeah. That's all of what he said. Surfers were recognized for their quick life-saving measures that saved the family, who remain unidentified. Santa Cruz Fire Chief Rob Odie commended their actions. I think that is just what he said, so it's huge that we have Locals who witnessed the incident were shocked that the family survived. Stefan, a boater, noted that the parent steering the vessel was supposed to take a hard right. Yeah? Wait, okay. So, here we have the video of the boat. So, a hard right.
Kids were wearing life
Probably,
vests.
like,
Their parents
approaching
weren't.
the wave?
All of them tossed
like-
around in the wave.
It was chaos,
If he
you know,
turned
because
into the wave, I wonder if that's what they're talking about, and if he would have been fine that way. I'm willing to ask Google about it after reading chat. I mean, mountains, you know what? Actually, kind of same. I like being able to like move freely. Being on a boat. Have I been on a boat? I've been on a boat twice, but like only like a skipper basically. And it's like it's fun, but it's you don't get to move around that much. What was I looking up? All right, how to phrase this question if I'm going at a wave? How to turn your boat in case of wave. Yeah, this will get me the answer. After breaking over the top of the swell, getting on the, well, I don't even know if this is a tips for boat handling in the ocean. Oh, let's look at r/boating. Hold on, there was a specific thing. It was hit the waves at a 45. So hold on, hit the wave. Where are you? There you go. Typically Okay, this is just one person that on Reddit that says you'll want to hit a wave at a 45-degree angle. Take this with a grain of salt. This allows for the V of the boat to cut the wave and you won't get slapped sideways. It makes sense. Sure. It kind of makes sense. Where are we? So, yeah, take a hard right. And instead, he went straight. And the waves literally picked him up, curled him over, and threw the boat down, tumbling with the wave at the same time. Because he chose to go straight ahead. Stephen told KSBW. February 7th saw rough waters in the area, with swells reaching between 8 and 12 feet per KSBW. The children between ages of 3 and 9 were wearing life vests in the boat, while the parents were not, the outlet reported, citing the harbor master. This could have been a tragedy of the worst kind. Fortunately, it wasn't. Everybody survived, but it's a really scary thought, looking at this boat and thinking what could have happened. Another witness named Blake told KSBW. The family was later brought to a local hospital to be examined and only sustained minor injuries, KSBW reported. People, that's the website, has reached out to the Santa Cruz Fire Department and the police department for more information. So this was a story I picked just because it's a feel-good story of people coming together to, help other people not die. People, it's true. So, yeah. I like that no one died, of course, but yeah. Ocean's scary. That's the moral of the story. Ocean's scary. Even if you're on a boat, you're not safe. And that's the news segment of today's stream. Soon, we are going to be playing Blaze Blue Entropy Effect. But before that, I'm going to take a small break from streaming to eat breakfast. I've eaten 2 apples yet today, but that doesn't quite feel like enough, my body is telling me. So, I will see you all in just a little while if you choose to tune in again. Oh, absolutely. I will actually shoot you that I think I already shot you the invite, Nem. I might have sent it in DMs, or I might not have. I will. If I haven't, I'll do it again. No, fucking do it again. I'll see you next time. Catch me if you can.